Hello, you're watching the Daily Jam podcast. This is episode number 5 or 6, I think. It's the 2nd of October. It's a Wednesday. It's about midday. I'm in Australia, Sydney, Australia, approximately. And I really wanted to film a podcast episode for you today. I've just spent about an hour fixing my microphone. See, I have a microphone here. I've got the whole thing. I've got an interface. I've got the software. But I'm on a MacBook and software updates are a thing. You have to keep updating drivers, or you update this software, now the driver's out of date. Whatever it is that's going on, I've spent about an hour fixing it, and I couldn't even fix it. I have to do another update, and I just thought, look, I want to record something now. So I'm just using the MacBook microphone. I've tested it. It's actually pretty decent sounding. Like if you compare it to 20 years ago, microphone qualities on laptops and phones, it's actually improved a lot. So I could beat myself up over not having the proper podcast equipment and it's not set up and it's not working. It's not working. But I am someone who I like to just get started with what I've got, and I don't like excuses. Even if the excuses are extremely legitimate, I like to find a way. Where there's will, there's a way, and I live my life by that principle. Even if I face criticism, even if people say, oh, it's low quality, blah, 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 to me it's like, no, it's about the message. Can you hear the message? Is the message being communicated? Cool. Whether it's polished with gold or whether it's smeared with dirt, can you hear the message? That's what matters to me. However, I care about your audio experience. I care about your ears and your mind and your heart and your soul. So I'm going to fix this. But for now, I just wanted to jump in. And I've been going through a lot of changes. The world's been going through a lot of changes. I'm going through changes. And I personally can barely keep up. So much change is occurring so constantly that I actually feel like my present moment awareness can't keep up. I can't compute. In many ways I can. But in many other ways, I have to somewhat let go and just trust this process. Things are changing rapidly. For example, I am changing my teaching business, my music career. I'm evolving it because it's just not working. It's working and it's not working. The areas where it's working, I don't know if you can hear neighbors are playing music. That's just the reality of the world. And renting is, we deal with each other's shitty music. No, I'm kidding. I love it all. But I digress. So going through changes, evolving the teaching business. What is working with my teaching, and this is based on 10 years of experience, 10 years of just teaching, not so much the business side, but the actual teaching itself. What is working is I am connecting with the right students. So a big theme that I notice with teaching is there's a lot of students, I'd say like most of the students I work with, there's shyness, there's self-esteem issues, and I'm just helping them feel confident in themselves, to feel capable to do the thing, and then realize, oh, I can do this, and then they get better and they feel the reward. I'm helping them with that process. A lot of the time with teaching, it can feel like I may be one of the only adults connecting with this young individual on a soul to soul, person to person, mind to mind, heart to heart level. I'm not saying other people in their world don't do that, but just in terms of leveling with another human, I often feel like I may be one of the only people reaching them in a specific way, because I know what it's like when we're in families and everybody's projecting their own thing onto each other, and it's very easy to just kind of shut down. You feel like, I feel misunderstood. I don't know what's going on. I mean well for everyone, but I feel like when I talk or behave, I'm treated like I'm crazy. So what's going on here? I'm just going to shut down in my little world and cocoon. And I find maybe with a lot of teachers or a lot of adults, a lot of parents, what tends to happen is, and it's no judgment, this is just coming from a place of love and observation. Because if I was a parent, I'd be going through it, because it's just this constant ball of stress. So it's not a place of judgment. I'm just kind of like, what's going on here and how can I help this individual? So what I notice, what was I even saying? Sometimes I go on the tangent and then I end up over here and I'm like, well, hang on, where was I going? But I think what happens is adults try to bring the child into their world. But I believe you have to meet the child in their world. You have to enter their world. And I often get told that I'm childish. And you can take that either way. In many ways, I see that as a compliment. However, we have to be adults in this world and society. So it's a way to like not kill the child within you. Because you look up anything to do with creativity, any artist and any genius, and it will say they managed to preserve that childlike spirit into adulthood. So I don't think the solution is to kill the child. I think that's like horrific. Do not do that. Stop being that and stop doing that. But to kill the child enough so they become an adult in a way that they integrate the child. You see what I'm saying? You don't want to kill the child, but you also don't want the child running the whole show. There's this middle ground. And it's very easy to want to kill the child if the child was killed in you by your parents and then their parents and the parents before them. But I want to break this cycle because it's a waste of time and energy to be going through this suffering. It's only useful if you manage to overcome it. You take the lesson, but you overcome it, you transform, you integrate, and you become the being that you are intended to come. Whatever that means to you, whether we're in a simulation, the cosmic plan for the universe, there's a sense you can tap into it and become who and what you really are. And I feel a lot of this has to do with integrating the inner child. So I believe in meeting the child where they are and getting to know their world. And then they open up to you. And it's in a way that they actually maybe haven't opened up with anyone else. So a lot of the time I feel like I'm doing that with my teaching. And this is why I don't know if I'll ever fit into mainstream music education, mainstream drum education. I don't think I'll ever be one of those guys on like vicfirth.com, Sabian.com. I wanted to be for many years, but I think I'm coming from a different direction. I'm coming at it from a different universe and a different timeline. Because I just feel like if I was in those systems and those networks, I'd just wake up one day and be like, you know what? Let's burn this, let's tear this down. Just because I like routine and order, but I also like change. I like the ability, if I'm not feeling it, not to quit necessarily, but like, let's just tear it down and do it a new way. I'm having a new train of thought. I think it's meant to go this way. I'm not happy with how it's going over here. So I need that freedom and ability to reinvent myself. And I don't think I'd have that trying to play by the rules of like get the endorsement and then you appear here and you're the drummer person and you do this thing and you're a brand. Like I want to do that stuff, but I have to accept that I'm just different. I'm built different. And you probably are too if you're watching this, because you're attracted to my channel and my vibe, and it probably means you're different as well. Sorry to tell you. Sorry to tell you. But, you know, it's all open. I don't condemn that world. I just see things from a different dimension. That's how it feels. So going through changes, I need that freedom to change. But what I can assure you is that the changes that I undergo, I will not throw away my teaching. I will not throw away my drumming. I will not throw away my music. I did that for many years. I wanted to run from this path. I embarked on it because it felt like this is what the universe wants. This is like my destiny. I don't understand it, but I just get this sense, this calling, this vision. I've got to go do this thing that I don't understand. And it reached points where I just wanted to quit because it just was not working. Or I could get it working to where I could like make ends meet, but I was not making profit, if that makes sense. So I'm like running around 24/7, reaching burnout, mentally like having breakdowns, emotional breakdowns, mental breakdowns. Just getting to the point where it's like, well, I can't even afford to take the time off to get therapy. What's going on? And it feels like people around you are just getting on with life. So you feel like, what's wrong with me? Is there something wrong? Am I not cut out for this? So I completely abandoned the whole project and I just wanted to study something else. I just wanted to work like everybody else just seems to be able to go to work, even though they hate their job and their life. They at least have that security of knowing I can go to a place when I wake up and I'll do the thing and then the money will appear in the bank account so I can just go to sleep and make my dinner and blah, blah, blah. I just wanted to experience that because I felt like also that it would help me better integrate into society and perhaps help me shut up and stop complaining for once and not feel like I'm like slipping through the cracks of the world and society. So I was doing it for you. I was doing it for the world and for me. I thought it was the best thing. I thought the universe was saying, stop it with the music. Just stop, bro. And let's get rational. And I was happy with that. I wasn't kicking and screaming in that sense of like giving it up. I was kicking and screaming, trying to keep it all together. But when I just decided to let go, I was like, look, I don't mind if I'm meant to just work this job for the rest of my life or this, as long as I can just get on with it and do it. I'm so sick of this like struggle. It's just like, it never ends. It never ends. So that was my motivation. So why I'm saying all this, so I actually abandoned teaching and I've begun studying computer science. I'm about halfway through this degree. I really want to finish it as well. I have moments where I just go, I'm going to quit. And maybe it sounds funny when you hear it, but I've had real moments where I'm talking to the university support staff and they're running me through the options of how I can like do a leave of absence. And then at the last moment, I'll just watch some video and it'll just make me go, oh, no, you have to keep going. You've got to just limp over the finish line. So it's been really tough, but I actually really am enjoying what I'm studying. And I really want to work on some software projects. I want to work on software projects for music software. So I want to start reaching out to music companies. Let me know if you're watching this, if you make music software or you know a company or you know someone who works for a music software company, things like this. I'm open, music software, music education software. That's like my bag: music, education, and technology. Those three, and philosophy if you like, but let's just say those three. So I want to contribute to your project. I'm just going to start hitting up companies. I'm going to find open source projects I can just get some practice with. I feel like that would be great for me and therefore great for the world. Well, not therefore, like, I think that would be great for me in the sense of what's best for society. Like, instead of me being stuck in life and the world and you develop this resentment, I feel like I can actually help companies, which then help the world, which also helps me, which also helps the world. So if you're watching this, let me know. I'm keen to contribute to your project. I've still got a lot to learn, but I'm a year and a half into a degree of computer science, so I've got enough of a foundation to sit down and figure things out for myself. It's not like you're training me from scratch. So I want to kind of move into that realm, whether that's like app development. I know AI, blah, blah, blah. Programming jobs are dead, AI. But I still believe in needing to understand how to build software, how computers work from the ground up. We still need people who understand how AI works. So I still believe we need people with the vision to know how to build, for example, music software applications. It's not just like type it into the AI and it builds it. You have to have the idea, the AI builds it, but it might not be to your specifications. You need to know how to tweak it and implement it. And there's so much complexity involved. The AI, I'm sure, can just spew out the software code. Anyway, I'm sure I'm missing a lot of things. But my point is I'm evolving into the software realm. The teaching hasn't been working. It's working, but the business side hasn't not been working. But that's also because in my soul, I'm just not feeling something about it. But my overall point was I'm not just going to throw it away. I'm not abandoning the project, but I may just kind of need to let it simmer on the side here, just to allow myself to evolve and develop and to change and to explore new territories. And so that's kind of what I need from you. Well, I don't need anything in like a fundamental sense, but if you're going to support these videos and this podcast and my platforms, I need your openness and willingness to go with me on this journey of change and transformation. And I know there is a fundamental aspect deep within your soul that loves transformation, that craves transformation. So I need to connect with that part of you. I need you to connect with that part of me and be open to this process of change. Send me your criticism. Make it as constructive as possible. Make it logical, not just like, I didn't like it. It's like, okay, I can't please everyone. It's impossible. How would I calculate it? I can't. So tell me, like, give me something that will help me make it better as the audience, viewer. And I will not react negatively. I will just say, thank you. I see what you're saying. Let me work on that. So send me any ideas that can help me build this. I just want to make it the best thing possible. But that's what I need from you, just your openness, because tomorrow I may decide, actually, we're going this way. And then the next day maybe like, oops, that was okay, but kind of back, or actually, I think it was kind of 2 steps back. Oh, no, the sun's moving. Let's go over here. Oh, because if I try to box myself into a thing, I'm just going to wake up depressed. I'm going to quit, so it's not how it's meant to be. It's not my vision. And if it's not my vision, then what am I doing? I may as well just go work for some other company. But this is Jamal's project. This is my project. So I have to make it work for me while also satisfying your needs. But I have to know what needs I want to satisfy in myself. So I base a lot of this based on how many times can I say the word base? I base this on what I need or what I would have wanted growing up or what I need right now. And I try to create that in the world. Kind of like how you become the adult that you wish that you had as a child. Kind of like that. I'm doing it like that. So another big change is I may be moving soon. Just with the flippin' cost of everything. Everything's very expensive. And I built myself up to where I could live by myself. But now after all these years of isolation, I think it's ready to live with some other people. Even though I'm 34 and it feels like, oh man, I feel like I'm maybe going back into share housing. There's another aspect of it where it's like, yes, but if I continue living in isolation like this, I'll just go mad. I'll go mad and deteriorate. I will deteriorate psychologically, emotionally, spiritually. And of course, there is a sense where isolation, many of the great humans in history go through periods of isolation, and that's when they tend to have some kind of breakthrough. And I just feel like I've now experienced the isolation, and maybe there'll be more in future, but I've just experienced it enough where I feel like I've reached a level where I know myself in a differentiation sense. I know how to differentiate myself from society or whatever group or family or friends, work. I'm aware of my soul and my individuality, but now I need a balance of I need to be able to come back into the world and then go back to my space and then come back in. Too much isolation is not good. It's not good. Even monks have a community. Maybe they avert their gaze and don't speak verbally. Maybe they do a vow of silence, but they're in a space with other like-minded monks. They're not just living in a unit, in a society, a crazy society. They're in the mountains. They go away to a space with other like-minded people and embark on this project. So that's what I need. And if I can't attain that, then I at least need to live with other people or close to other people on a similar trajectory. So I'll be moving soon because I just cannot keep this up. Even just financially, because the isolation is affecting the self-esteem, affects my ability to bring in income, basically, because I have great visions that I can actualize and bring into the world. But personally, I'm going through a bit of an inner war, which it's deepening every day, but I feel like I'm getting much closer to a level of peace, inner peace and resolution that lasts. Even as the emotional reactivity comes up, I'm coming to a place where I can just better detach from it and just do what I'm here on this earth to do, just carry out this mission. So that's really the main gist of this podcast. I hope that's useful for you. I just wanted to talk about change and that I'm going through a lot of changes. And I find that with channels and podcasts online, maybe there's an expectation for something to be a certain way. And as viewers, we just sort of assume the creator to have it all figured out and present it to us, the audience. So we sit there and we find the thing and someone's just packaged it all nicely for us. Whereas there's a part of me fundamentally that doesn't know like what's going on with life in the sense of where did we all come from and what are we all doing? This whole dance. What is this whole thing? I'm learning, I'm getting better at integrating into this world, but I think for as long as I'm alive, there'll always be some little aspect or part of me that knows that nobody knows what's going on. So I always need that ability, that space to change and transform. And what it'll appear as, it'll be like, I've got this fundamental thing. So I'm Jamal, I'm presenting this thing. Drum lessons, music education, philosophy, societal commentary, figuring things out, emotional understanding, self-growth, personality development. But how that unfolds will evolve. It's going to change over time, and I need your openness. I might go over here for like 6 months and then realize actually now I kind of want to build this part back up. So I just need your trust that I'm in the driver's seat, but I'm also like a passenger fundamentally. But I need your trust that I'm not going to run away anymore. I will feel like running away, but I'm committing to this project. But I need the ability for it to grow and transform because I'm still growing and transforming. I'm still realizing things constantly about myself. And so if I'm to do this authentically, I need to be able to grow this channel, this platform with my personal growth as a human, as a being, a spiritual being on this cosmic journey of life on Earth as a human. So I need that openness. Like I said, let me know any software projects, particularly music software. Let me know if you happen to be watching this and you know somebody, or you're curious, or you want to get started, or you're working on a project, or you've got ideas who I could hit up. Just let me know. I'm going to be doing a lot of practicing, and I'm going to find some open source projects that I can contribute to, especially over the summer period when we've got that little bit of a break. I don't have to do any teaching. I don't have to go anywhere. So I'd like to start digitizing a lot of my knowledge and providing it, whether it's PDF format or video course format. So I know they say you shouldn't talk about your goals, blah, 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 but I don't care. I just want to discuss. I feel like it's a discussion, and what I talk about, the more open and honest and real that I am, it allows you to see me clearly. And maybe it'll give you ideas, or maybe you'll have suggestions for me, and then I can bounce that back off you. Let's make this a collaborative thing. Let's not make it like I'm over here and you're over there. Like, interact with me. Let's build this thing. Let's evolve. I have blind spots. I have great vision, but I also have blind spots. I need your help. I need your help to build this. Help me help you. Help me to help you. So I hope that's useful for you. I hope that's interesting. I hope that sparked something, or whatever, uncovered something for you, made you think in a different way. If you have anything, any feedback at all, criticism, make it constructive, please, just so I can actually learn from it. Not just like, I don't like this guy, because I can't really work with that. Give me something logical. What is it you don't like? Am I talking too fast? Am I talking too slow? Is the volume not great? The microphone, as I was saying, I'll get this bad boy set up again. Yeah, let me know your feedback. Drop a comment. Please like, subscribe, do the whole thing, share the video. I'm totally open. I just want to make the best possible impact for this world. I want us all to grow and integrate into this technotronic society that we find ourselves in, and make it the evolved form and not so much the totalitarian dystopian form, because that would be sad for everybody playing at home. So, in saying that, I hope you have a beautiful day, a beautiful week, a beautiful month, a beautiful year, and a beautiful life. Thank you so much for watching. I send you utmost peace and love, and I'll be in touch soon. Thank you.